Hello, I'm John Bachman. We'll start with that nurse who has been in a fight over her Ebola quarantine in 2 states now, New Jersey and Maine. Today she's been out and about. Casey Hickox broke the voluntary quarantine in Maine this morning by going out for a leisurely bike ride. She's now back home. Last weekend she was put in a mandatory quarantine in New Jersey after returning from treating Ebola patients in West Africa. Hickox was then allowed to return home. Officials there in Maine are now headed to court to change her quarantine.
We will make it mandatory. It is certainly in everyone's best interest to just cooperate and work with us to minimize contact.
California is now the latest state to order an Ebola quarantine, a mandatory 21-day order in place for people returning from West Africa if they had any contact with Ebola patients. And planned meetings today at the White House between National Security Advisor Susan Rice and Israeli intelligence official might be a little bit tense. This comes after an unnamed administration official called Israel's prime minister a chicken and then a word I can't say on the air in a recent article in the Atlantic Monthly. No word yet on an apology from the administration.
We believe that moving forward, it's in the best interest of both sides to address any issues that may arise appropriately and respectfully and not through personal attacks.
Well, this all comes as Sweden's government today has officially recognized the state of Palestine, a move that drew praise from Palestinian officials but criticism from Israel. And more Kurdish fighters have started to head into the embattled Syrian town of Kobani. They're moving across the border from Turkey in small groups, about 10 or so at a time, but there should be about 140 there by the end of the day. They're headed to reinforce the town's defenders who have been heading off ISIS or holding off ISIS in recent weeks. And across the country today, campaigns are in high gear just 5 days before the election. One of those key Senate races we're watching in Iowa, Republican Joni Ernst is now holding a 4-point lead over Democrat Bruce Braley. Also well up in the polls in Iowa is Governor Terry Branstad, but he'll be getting a little campaign help anyway from New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. Yesterday in the Jersey Shore town of Belmar, speaking on the 2-year anniversary of Sandy walloping the East Coast, Christie got into it with a heckler.
You want to have the conversation later? I'm happy to have it, buddy. But until that time, sit down and shut up.
Well, there you have it. The man was complaining about the slow pace of recovery after Sandy. Christie says the guy doesn't know what he's talking about, but Christie will be talking about elections again over the next 5 days, campaigning in 19 states, including Wisconsin, where President Obama campaigned this week for Democratic challenger Mary Burke. Governor Scott Walker also holding a lead there, up 7 points now. And it's quite literally a force of nature, the lava flowing straight at that Hawaiian town of Pahoa, unstoppable at 30 feet an hour. Some residents are standing firm, though, refusing to flee, but nearly 1,000 have already left. The lava will soon cut the town in half. Another update for you in 30 minutes. Now back to Midpoint.